Hello and welcome. I am Annette from Count on KUPE, and my goal is to equip math teachers with resources to create meaningful math activities that captivate students beyond the textbook. And today I have a winner. My students love this activity. It is engaging for the builder, the creative, the mathematician. A lot of different learning styles are addressed and embraced and celebrated with this math activity. So we're going to create the Math Valentine Review Cube today. And here's a picture of my Valentine Math Cube. So let's get started with a blank presentation. I'm going to walk you step by step through how I create and how I start the process of creating this math cube. So we're going to start with a blank presentation, and I'm going to delete anything that's on the page already. I want to change my page, so I'm going to go to Design, Slide Size, a custom slide size, to 8.5 by 11 because I am working with a portrait size page. If you would like to do it in another way, you could do that as well. I want to see my guides and grid lines so I can see the middle of the page. So I went to View, Guides and Grid Lines. And all I'm going to do to create this is super simple. I need 3 shapes in order to create this activity. So I'm going to start by insert a shape, and I'm going to use the oval shape. I'm going to just click it. So now I see a complete circle. I'm going to use my shift key to make it pretty large. I like my activities to be pretty big, so when the cube comes out, it's kind of, the size of their head. And I'm going to move that down to the middle, a little bit below the bottom. I think that looks like a pretty good size. You can also go to Format Shape and kind of see the size by using this Size and Properties. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. That looks good. All right, now I'm going to align it in the center of the page, and I'm going to leave a little bit on top. The reason I'm going to leave a little bit on top is because I like to include directions on the activity page. Now I want to change the color of this activity, the color of the circle. You can have a white fill or a no fill, either one. And the outline, I want to make that a little bit darker. So I went to Shape Outline, made it black, and I'm going to change the weight to be probably 3. You want a nice dark outline. That's what they're going to be cutting out. When the students are doing the activity, they will be cutting out that circle. Okay, so now I want the square that's inside of the circle, which is what is going to make the cube shape. So I'm going to insert a shape, and then I'm going to insert a rectangle, and I'm just going to click it. So it is a square at the moment. I'm going to zoom in. So View, Zoom, maybe to 150%. That way I can see where the shape, maybe a little less, where the shape touches the circles, because I want it to hit the circle in all 4 corners, but continue to be a square shape. So I'm going to start by using my shift key on my keyboard and dragging that corner to hit the other side of the circle. So see how here it overlaps the circle? I do not want that. So I'm going to arrange, align, center. So now the square is centered inside of the page, and so is the circle. So now it's centered inside the circle. And it's almost the right shape. I'm just going to use my arrow keys to see. It's a little bit big, so I'm going to shift it down, move it. So that looks perfect. Okay, so I am going to change the color of the inside of this. I'm going to right click it, or you can go back to the home and use the shape fill here to be white or no fill, and then the shape outline to be black. And I like to have the weight of the inside, the square, the same as the outside. And there you have it. That's as simple as the shape creation is. I'm gonna insert one more text box, one more box, one more shape, a rectangle at the top, and that is for your directions. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert a rectangle at the top, make sure it's aligned to the center, fill it, outline it, keep it the same weight if you want, maybe 3, maybe a little less. And then this is where I would type my directions. So the next thing I might do is insert a text box on top of directions. I'd put my directions here. Actually, I might put station 1. And you are going to want to write your directions underneath that and fill in that space with whatever activity that you have created. Now, after you have this template, this is it. This is as hard as it gets, right? So I'm going to take this slide on the side, the thumbnail on the side, and I'm going to right click it and I'm going to duplicate slide. And you are going to want 6 total slides for the 6 sides of your cube. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you have the structure of the cube. That's as simple as that. Let me show you. Well, let me make it big for you to see. So I'm going to view it, fit to window. So this is what one page would look like. I'll take your grid lines and guides off. So this is what one page would look like. The students would cut out the circle around this shape, and the square part in the center is where you would put the activity that you want the students to complete. So let me just give you an inside look at what my 5th grade Valentine cube would look like. So first I have the assembly directions. Notice that they're circles, and then they kind of bend those, the outside of the circles up on the lines of the square and then connect them. So that I like to have the extra parts out because I think it looks fun. And more like a flower type of look, and it's easy to hang. I just hole punch and hang from one of those tabs at the end. So this is what each of the sides would look like, and here are the activities. So notice I have the directions on the top, and I just inserted some hearts for this one and added some fraction problems. I inserted a little clip art for these. I created my own graph using shapes from PowerPoint for this. So you can really use PowerPoint to your advantage. Here's a bunch of hearts piled on top of each other, and that's a color by number. And then it turns out really cool. It turns out into this really cool cube. So the hardest part is probably coming up with the activities, but I like to have them themed around around a holiday or maybe a celebration in your classroom. And the students just really love creating them, and I hope you really love creating it too. You can follow me at Count on KUPE on Instagram, and look below this video for more information about this activity.